Hello, I'll share with you today my favorite art therapy books and a couple of my favorites from my overall book collection. So, the first book I have in mind is the Handbook of Art Therapy. And this is by Kathy Malchiodi, and she is one of the most well-known art therapists in this field. And this book is mostly about the theories and approaches in art therapy and how it can work with different psychotherapy approaches. So this is very focused on helping those who are already in the art therapy field and working as an art therapist. So this is in-depth and does require some knowledge in psychology theories. So this might not be something that you want to read as the first book or as an introduction to art therapy. So I also have in mind another book by Kathy Malchiodi, and that one is called The Art Therapy Source Book. And that one is really great for anyone to read, and it might have been one of my first books that I read about art therapy, and it just gives you all the basics about what is art therapy and how you can apply art therapy approaches. It actually gives you some concrete, easy to do exercises that you can do on your own at home. So it is wonderful for people who are looking for introductory art therapy books. So I really recommend anyone who wants to read about art therapy to read Kathy Malchiodi's Art Therapy Source Book. The second book that I want to share with you as my favorite is Barbara Gannon's Art and Healing. So I don't actually have that book with me right now, but I remember reading it several years ago when I first kind of learned about art therapy, and it was really awesome how she explained healing through the power of art and healing through expressive art making, and she guides you through these exercises and prompts that really helps you to look inside yourself. And really, it's great for self-discovery. It's great for people who are struggling with a physical illness and really want to find that strength within themselves and use art in that process. So the third book that I want to share with you is Pat Allen's Art is a Way of Knowing. And this is really a precious book, and I just love this book so much. I really personally love Pat Allen's approach to art therapy, and in this book she shares so much about her own personal process of using art as a way to learn more about herself, and really it inspires you to do the same. So it really goes in depth about the discoveries that she makes, the things that she learns, the difficulties that she runs into, the challenges, the inner critic that comes up sometimes. It was really nice to read about that and feel like I'm not alone in my struggles. So this is really great for someone who wants to be inspired by an art therapist to understand yourself more through art. So the last art therapy book that I want to share with you all that is a favorite of mine is Art Heals book by Sean McNiff. And this one I actually recently started reading and I haven't finished yet, but this is so awesome. I've really been enjoying his writing so much, because he really goes in depth about why art therapy works, and he really connects it well to spirituality, to our existential questions, how art can solve that. And he really shares so much about what happens when we make art, the difficulties that we face, the things that we discover, the progress that we make. And because he's an art therapist, he shares a lot about his work with different kinds of people, clients, populations, and how they kind of grow. And you can also see artworks in here. So this is one of the most, to me, I think, spiritual and very moving writing about art therapy and what it can do to our lives. So I have 2 more books that I want to share, and these are not art therapy books, but these are just my favorites from just my whole collection of books that I have at home. And the first one I want to share is, I have so many bookmarks on this because I go back to it so many times, and that's how much I love this book. And this is The Dark Side of the Light Chasers by Debbie Ford. And I found this book several years ago. I can't even remember how I found it, but it has really changed my life on how I view others and how I view myself. So if you are really looking for a book to heal yourself and to really change your perspective on things so that you can feel more at peace and calm and confident in yourself, then this is really the book you want to go for. And it's so mind-blowing when you first read it. And the other book that I want to share is You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. And Louise Hay is such an amazing person, and she has been such a great teacher to so many people who've been struggling with physical illness or mental health issues. And basically, she tells you that in order to heal your body and mental health issues, you really need to look at what you are believing and what kinds of beliefs you are holding on to that might be negative that you want to let go of. So the one thing that she really preaches is that all or most of the problems that we have in life, especially physical problems or emotional problems that we have in life, are caused by our lack of love or our lack of self-love. And so she goes really in depth about what kind of lack of self-love or what kind of fear that we have that might be causing the continuation of illness or a emotional state. So I hope you enjoyed my list of favorite art therapy books and just favorite from my overall collection. And if you have a favorite book of your own that is art therapy related or just healing related or any other kind of book, please share in the comments below. I would love to know what's a good book that I can read next. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.